In this section, we are going to create the intersection corridor. We have already finished creating the intersection assemblies. Now, first, we have to delete, or we have to hide these. We can't delete these temporary assemblies, but we have to hide these temporary assemblies. So the best way to hide these temporary assemblies is to freeze these assembly layers. So if you can remember, in an earlier video I told you to do some modifications in the settings tab, and in the drawing settings I asked you to modify this corridor as this. So that is because in each time we create a corridor, it will give the corridor a new name, which currently followed by the name of the object, otherwise the name of the corridor. So I click cancel here. So if I click this temporary corridor, this is temporary corridor main road. So if you go to home tab and click this layer manager, you can see this layer is temporary corridor main road. So in the same manner, we have a temporary corridor second road as well. That means we can hide these layers. Hide means freeze these layers. We can't hide these layers with this turning off this bulb or turning off the layer. That will remove the layer from the drawing for some time, so it will not interact with the drawing. Instead, what you have to do is you have to freeze this layer. So when I click here, you can see this layer is no more. In the same manner, you can click this other one and go to the other one and freeze that layer also. So when you freeze those layers, the drawing, you can see the settings will be still there. Otherwise, these surface profiles would be get deleted if you delete or hide those layers or delete those corridors. But we need them if you do any modifications in these corridors, like main road or secondary road. We need them to get update the curb return profile. So we don't delete them, we will instead freeze them. Now we have two profiles here, so we need to hide them as well. So we click here, actually not profiles, surfaces. We'll go to no display option from here and from here as well. So now our drawing is very much cleaned up in this area. Also, we can delete these station labels because we don't need them at the moment. We created them to identify the matching locations on the profile. Since we have marked them on the profile, we don't need them at the moment, so we can delete them after selecting. So now we are going to create the main road corridor. So I go to corridor from here. Then my corridor name would be intersection corridor. So if you have so many intersections, you can give different names for your intersection corridors. For the alignment, I will select the main road. For the profile, it would be main road profile. And assembly, I would select this full width assembly. And for the target surface, I am selecting EG as my target surface. So if you're having different version there, this is 2025, so like 2022 or 20, you will have a different interface than this, but I think you can find the places in your interface as well. You have to complete these parts. So I'll click OK. Now we have to set our intersection corridor locations, actually start station, end station, and frequency. So I'll click here to set my start set. Right, so this would be our start of our intersection, and end would be this one. So you can see now it is setting from here to here as full width assembly, but we know from here to here it is not the full width, it should be mid block. So in that case, I'll right click and go to split region from here. Then I'll select this point to split, and again this point as my split point. So you can see when you are splitting, the chain edges are coming at this place. So when you are splitting, make sure you have turned on object snaps like endpoint snap or maybe the intersection snap. So I'll right click. Now my assembly is now split. Actually my corridor is now split into 3 parts. So for the middle part I have to set my mid block assembly. So in this time, if you have any targets, you can set at this place, but we are not going to use targets like width target or elevation target at this point. So I'm not going to do that at this moment, but if you have to set them. So I mean for the main road corridor. So I'll go to now for the secondary road, because now main road is completed. Now we are going to add the secondary road to this corridor. So we go to here, add baseline. For the baseline, this should be secondary road, and I'll click OK. So we are not going to have a feature line, only the alignment and profile. And my profile would be secondary road profile. Click OK. So then I'll right click here, then go to add region. For this one also we are going to use the full width assembly. Then I click OK. So you have the region added. So it would be coming from maybe from 0 to somewhere here. Not 0 actually. It should start from here where the curb return alignment starts. So this is where you have the secondary road assembly parts for this corridor. So at this moment I'll set all these frequencies as 1 meter so that we get a more accurate corridor. So I'm not going to change the other parts. I click OK. So we need to add curb returns for this corridor, but before that we are going to create the assembly and see how it works at this point. So I'll click OK. So before clicking OK, make sure you are going to targets and see whether your all surface targets are set. You can see here your surface target is not set. Here also surface target is not set. That is, they are related to the secondary road assembly we have included. So we have to make sure we have set them here for all things. So if you are using older versions of Civil 3D, this interface is little bit different from the newer interfaces. So I think you may understand where the locations you will see to you need to see to set these assemblies and targets, right? So I'll click OK, and I click OK again and rebuild the corridor. So you can see we don't get any errors. Now our corridor is nicely created at this point. Then what we have to do is we have to create these curb returns. So when you are going to create these curb return corridors, the logic is like this: from here to here, like from here to until this point, we will have the corridor. Like the assembly is coming from here, then it is targeting the elevations on the secondary road. After that point, it will going like this, and it will target the elevations and also the width. In this case also the width and elevation, in this also the width and elevation. So this is for the width, it should be this alignment, main road RHS alignment. So we know that we already have the elevations on this secondary road, because we have this secondary road elevations, but we don't know whether we have elevations on this main road RHS, right? Main road RHS, because we need to target the elevations of this as well. So we need to make sure we have the correct elevations on this main road RHS alignment. So to make sure that one, we go to surface profile. So currently we don't have any elevations assigned to this second main road RHS alignment, but if you assign elevations, it should be the elevations from the corridor which we creating now. Otherwise we can get the same thing from this corridor, temporary corridor main road, because it follows the same elevations of the final corridor. So that's why we said we need it, because we cannot delete it or we cannot hide it. That's why we freeze it. So we will get the elevations from the temporary corridor to this alignment, so that we can complete the targeting. So I'll click add here and click OK. We don't want to create the profile views to see how it looks like. We just add this and add it to the corridors later. So I'll click OK here. Now it gives the information notice. I'll right click. Now I go to the corridor again, go to corridor properties. This time on the parameters tab, I am going to add a baseline. So this time I am going to add the southwest curb return first. So my profile would be southwest curb return FG, and I will going to add a region as by assembly. So the curb return assembly would be the assembly we are using. Then we have completed this region. So this region start point would be this corner, because this alignment is going from here to here. So region start point would be this corner, and region endpoint would be this corner. Right, so now it is completed. So now it is completed. So I will do the same for the so before I will add the same for the other side also. Southeast curb return. So I'll add this profile and add a region like earlier, same assembly, and start point would be this corner, endpoint would be this corner. Make sure you are using the correct snapping options. So this time also we can set these to 1 meter to get more accurate corridor. So if you like, you can set all the regions at once without doing them multiple times. So you can set all the regions from here. So I'm not going to set any targets at the moment. I'll just click OK and see what is given here. Before that one, I have to make sure I set all targets here, because we don't have targets for the EG. So I'll make sure my targets are set and click OK and click OK again. So this is how it looks like at this point, but we have to make sure that this lane touches here and this part touches here. It should stop here and this part go up to here, and also it should target the elevations from this secondary road and elevations from this main road RHS profile. So now we want to set the targets for this region of the corridor, so that it connects this part and this part. So I go to here, go to corridor properties. So in the SW curb return, this one I right click and here I will right click and go to split region. Then I'll split the region from this point where these touches with each other, this line and this line, the connecting point. I will set it here. Now I right click. Now you can see it is now splitted. I'm going to the other one as well, and I will select the split point here as well and right click. So now I am going to set the targets. For clear identification, I will turn off some parts of these and explain them to you separate. So now I am going to set the target for this region only. So I'll click the corridor, go to edit targets, then I'll select this region, right click, enter. Now you have to set the width and elevation targets. So for the width target, it should target this right side secondary road. So this target should be, I'll click here, this is alignment, so I click the left side and click this one and right click. So you can see this is set. Then so if you apply, you will see it is connected now, but it is only connected in terms of width. Now I have to set the elevation targets. So the elevation targets, we have to set the profile of this one. So I'll click here and it should be secondary road profile. So it should be secondary road profile, and I right click to confirm the selection. Then I will click OK. Now this is complete, right? So next I have to complete this part. So I'll click here, go to corridor, and I'll add this part and click OK. Now I select the corridor again, edit targets. This time I want to select this region, then I right click, enter. Then for the width target, it should be, this time we have this alignment here. So I'll select this one, and from the object selection cycling I can get this thing, enter. So it gets the width target. You can see now it gets the width target. Then this time we have to select the elevation targets. So this time we have to be careful because we don't have a profile views showing the elevations of this line. In that case, we have to filter that alignment from here. I am going to uncheck all from here. Then it should be main road RHS. So the alignment name should be main road RHS. So not here, actually you have to go here. I have to select all from here and go to here. Then I am going to select main road RHS from here. So it will show you the profiles on that main road RHS. So we have to select this temporary corridor one from here. So still you are using the older versions of Civil 3D. You have to go with that options to get this done properly. So I'll click OK. Now everything completed in terms of the southwest curve return. So you can do it with yourself to get this part done correctly to create the southeast curve return. So in the next video we will see how to create the corridor surface for this intersection corridor.